Hello! Today we are going to be finding out what is definitively the best Project Sekai group. Now, of course, this is my opinion, but I tried to take into account all of everyone else's ideas and be as unbiased as I could be. So let's get into it. Here we have all of the groups, and this is going to be split into 5 different sections based on Sekai, the characters themselves, how well they do the Vocaloids, music, and story. First is Sekai, and I give this one to Wonderland X Showtime. Now, when it came to this one, I was kind of thinking about which one would be the most fun to spend time in and would be, the most comfortable place to be. And I think it is Wonderland X Showtime. If you look at the background art and read the stories, I mean, there is roller coasters, there is trains that fly through the air, there are stuffed animals that are alive and have personalities. I mean, just look at these funky little characters that you can talk to. I think that is so fun, and I think that overall it just has that warm, fuzzy feeling unlike some of the other Sekais, so that is why I give them this place, especially because of that weird magical train in the sky. I just think that's awesome. So that is 1 point to Wonderland X Showtime, and let's move on to story, where I give this point to Night Court at 25, or as I'll be calling them, N25, which I feel like is not a surprise to anyone. Of all of the groups, I feel like N25 has the most sort of drama going on with it and has the most sort of personal development of the characters. Of course, this is my opinion, but if you read through all of them, I feel like the most captivating story is, of course, N25's. They did such a good job at not only characterizing Mafuyu, but Mizuki, Mizu 5, come on, but Kanade and Enna as well are also really well done, and some of these events that I am flashing across the screen I think are the best sort of examples of what I'm talking about. And yeah, that is why I gave this one to N25. Now there is going to be a little bit of silence while I flash across a couple more events that I like, so just enjoy those. And then just quickly, here's a couple screenshots that I feel kind of show how good this story is without giving away too many spoilers, so I did not include any from the main story. Next, we have Vocaloids, which I am giving to Leonid. Now, this is Hatsune Miku Colorful Stage, so we cannot talk about these groups without talking about the Vocaloids involved in them. And I think Leonid has the most sort of accurate, quote-unquote, Vocaloids. Of course, the Vocaloids aren't supposed to have any personality. They're supposed to be whatever you want, which is kind of where we get all these different versions of the characters in these different Sekais. But I think if you want to stick to what is kind of just given and kind of just accepted within the fandom, I think you're going to want to stick with Leonid. They have the best sort of characterizations of everyone. There isn't anything too far off from the basic personalities of them. And I do believe that this is because Ichika is such a big fan of Miku. I feel like she just kind of had this sort of set in her mind, and in my head she's kind of like, you know what? No, this is Miku. My Miku is Miku. She does not have any separate personality. But I do want to say, of the most fun Vocaloid versions, once again, I would give that to my Wonderland X Showtime friends because they are so silly, and I love that Luca that is always asleep. But I will be giving this point to Leonid. Okay, ignore that little checkmark for Viv Bad Squad. I put that there by accident. This one is characters, very similar to story. I feel like this goes hand in hand. We have, once again, N25. Here is their little cards that tell you about them. As I mentioned before with the story, I feel like these ones have the most sort of depth and thought put into their characters, which I feel like is not me. I feel like Sega as a whole, when it comes to story, this is the group that they put the most effort into. And so I feel like it's not really that much of a hot take to choose this one as the sort of, main good part of the characters. So that is why this point is going to N25. And lastly, we have music, which I am giving to both Vivid Bad Squad and N25. This is like by far the hardest segment to me because I mean like the whole game is focused around music. How are you supposed to rank which band is best? Because that is such a personal preference thing. And Leonid has my favorite song, Lost Ones Weeping. I think their cover of it is, don't hate me, better than the original. So that was really hard because if I was going by best song, I would give it to Leonid. But I think overall, N25 has the strongest songs, like separately. They have like the top 5 songs I think that are the best. Like when you think of Project Sekai, usually it's going to be N25 songs you think of ID Smile, you think of Jackpot Sad Girl, you think of Samsa, or honestly, any of their songs are just so iconic. But then there's Vivid Bad Squad, and overall, they have the most amount of good songs. Like if you're going to look through all of the songs, although N25 has some of the best songs, they also have a couple songs that are very forgettable to me, like Hi, How Are You, or whatever the heck that's called. And there's just a couple that like are so forgettable. Whereas with Vivid Bad Squad, there is only like 1, maybe 2 songs I don't like. And so I feel like that is where Vivid Bad Squad gets the point. They are also the most sort of dedicated to their music. I know, don't hate me, Leonid fans, but to me, they are the most dedicated to their music. And it really shows because every song that they have is a freaking banger, man. It is so good. Just as a little comparison so you can see what I'm talking about, here is Vivid Bad Squad's most popular songs, not all of their songs, I'm well aware of that, next to N25 songs, which are listed right here. And so the winner is, drumroll please, Honami, N25.